Hello everyone, my name is Mateo-Tube. Welcome to Railroader, and welcome to the Midwest Northern Railroad. I'm assuming everyone has probably already heard about this game, but in case you haven't, this game takes what I love about Railroads Online, it takes what I love about Run 8, and it mashes it into one. So, the story behind this game is that there was a massive flood. This flood destroyed a big section of railroad. Now, as a result, the Class 1 railroad that previously owned this decided that they didn't want to repair the damage, so they ultimately abandoned the entire railroad. Nearly 200 miles of railroad was abandoned as a result of the flood, and that is where we come in. We decided that we would pick up the railroad and attempt to bring it back to its former glory. We only have $5,000 to our name, and when we bought the railroad, there were 2 locomotives here. This locomotive just here, which is in perfect condition, and this locomotive just right here, which unfortunately was a victim of the flood. So with that said, we're going to get this show on the road and stop wasting time. If you guys missed it, I already played the tutorial in a first look live stream that I did about a week ago. That was uploaded as a 2-part series to this channel, so if you guys would like to see me go through the tutorial, make sure to go watch that. Since we already played the tutorial, we are not going to follow the tutorial today. Instead, we're going to do things a little bit differently. We have a couple housekeeping things we have to do before we can really get things moving. First things, we have a locomotive here which is broken. We need to re-rail that and get it into the service shop here so that our shop crew can work on it. We have a coal car here which is currently empty. And this coal car here is going to feed our coal conveyor, which is going to feed our locomotives with coal. Now, we need to get this car over to the interchange so that the Class 1 railroad can take it and load it with coal. Once they load it with coal, it will reappear at the interchange, and we can bring it here so that we can fill our conveyor belt up. As of right now, we have 1,000 pounds, which is barely enough to fill any of our locomotives. So this is going to be the first thing we're going to work on today. And in order to get this to the interchange, for those that haven't seen this, I have to make a waybill. So the loads, when it's loaded with coal, it's going to go to the East Whittier coal loader. That's what this is right here. When the car is empty, it's going to go to the East Whittier interchange, which is just over there. Class 1 railroad will take it, load it with coal, and then it'll be re-tagged with the coal conveyor. Once we put it here, the coal conveyor belt will fill up, and we can then fill our locomotives with coal so that we can keep them moving. So that's going to be the first thing that we're going to do. I think that for today's episode, I'm just going to take the role of the conductor and the engineer. Something that's really cool here is that you actually have AI, and the AI will couple cars up for you. They'll do very basic switching maneuvers, and you can actually take the role of the conductor if you don't want to be the engineer, which I think is really, really cool. One thing to keep in mind is that if you are going to use the AI engineer, it will actually cost you money. Anyways, with that said, let's get this car to the interchange. Alright, so I'm just going to put this into forward. We're going to release the brake, and let's not break things now. Alright, let's not break anything now. Oh, very carefully, so, oops, there we go. One thing that's important is cars can actually get damaged in this game. I'm not sure if it really matters for this car right here since we're servicing the coal conveyor, but when we start running cars to industries and stuff, damaged cars will actually make you less money. So it's a good idea to be careful when you're, connecting cars and stuff like that, because obviously we want to make money. And damaged cars will make you less money, which is always bad. Alright, let's take this car up to the interchange. We'll throw it in reverse. Very carefully pull this out. Alright, and just about right there should do. Yep, right there is perfectly fine. Let's flip that switch. Let's flip this switch and pull it out onto the main. Alrighty, and you know what? While we're over here, we're going to fill this locomotive up with coal, and we're also going to fill the locomotive up with water. Now, this coal is nowhere near enough to fill up this locomotive, but it'll be enough for today, though. There we go, and right there should be good. So if I just click that, we'll lower the chute. And it'll start filling up the train. Which I want to say that this locomotive can fill a total of 6 tons. And, well, look at that. We're already empty. So as you can see, that was barely enough. Alright, I'm going to click that. We'll raise that up, and we will fill up the water. Which, luckily, the water from here is unlimited. So we don't actually have to worry about that. There we go. And right there should be good. If I click that, we'll bring it over. And look at that. Perfect. Yeah, like a glove. Awesome. We're going to take a look at the company manager window here. We can see our reputation, which as of right now, we have no reputation, which is bad. The higher your reputation, the better the contracts that you can take. So if you have a really bad reputation because you suck, you're going to have a tier 1 contract, which isn't going to pay very well. You probably won't get that many cars. But if you have like a tier 3, obviously businesses are going to want you to transport more cars for them. That means more money. And I think that the first industry that we're going to focus on today is the sawmill. Now, this is a captive industry, so that means that we have to service it with our own freight cars. They want logs. Now, a tier 1 contract, I believe, wants you to transport at least 8 logs per day. And we'll get to more of that in just a minute. Let's close the hatch up here, and let's get this car to the interchange. Alright, and you know what? We're just going to stop right here. I have an idea to make this easier for ourselves. So I'm going to put the coal car on this second track here, because we can use this little siding right here to run around the train. However, we have these 2 cars in the way. So I am going to grab the passenger car and the caboose. We're going to pull it out of that little siding. We're going to park the coal hopper into this track just here. And then use this little siding to run around the train. And then I think for now, we will take the passenger car, the caboose, and we're just going to park it right here. Okay. If I hit shift, that'll automatically open up the angle cocks and everything, which is really, really good. And you know what? Because we have this, let's take the opportunity to use the AI. So if I go to yard and we hit reverse, I can tell the engineer how far I want him to back up. And he will couple onto that car right there. So I'm going to assume that this is about 5 car lengths. So let's hit 5 and see if the AI will reverse for us. Yep, there we go. He's given us the signal. And he's going to start reversing us. Now, down here, it should tell us if he plans on coupling to it. It doesn't say it just yet. Oh, yep, there we go. Couple 3 miles an hour. There we go, 3 miles an hour. And the AI couples onto the train. We can tell him to stop. And let's get the brake hoses connected and everything. And there we go. Then something else that we can do now is we can go to road mode, and I can tell the AI, reverse us at 15 miles an hour. There we go, giving us the signal. And the AI will now take us back at 15 miles an hour. Now, in road mode, he will keep moving until something is obstructing his path. That could be a fusee, that could be a switch, that could be another train. Because you see, if I just go into this mode here, if I put a fusee down, he will stop. There we go. Just put one right there, and you can see the AI is beginning to slow down, and he will stop just before that fusee, which can be really helpful when you're doing, you know, longer switching maneuvers and stuff. Because there we go, he stopped, and if we look at the status, it says fusee, so he stopped due to the fusee. If I remove it, he should start moving again. Because he's in the way of the switch still. Yep, there we go. And the AI will begin reversing a little bit more. If I put it to 0, he will stop. There we go. And we can now take control by hitting manual again. That is a really cool feature with this game. All right, let's flip the switch. And should I kick the car? Now, yeah, you know what? I could do that. I could kick the car. Yeah, okay, let's take it back a little bit more. All right, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the angle cock. I'm going to close this angle cock. And then I'm just going to go ahead. We're going to open up the coupler. Then if I put the brake on, that will disconnect, and hopefully that'll go into this track here. All right, we can just put on the handbrake here, and the car will hopefully stop. There we go. All right, and let's just take it a little bit further. And I think that right there will do. All right, I'm going to flip the switch here, and I'm going to put it into this left track. And you know what? We'll have the AI do it for us. And you can see just here that the status says end a track, which means that the AI recognizes that the track is about to end. AI is going to begin slowing down, as you can see just here. And he'll hopefully stop. Yep, there we go. He put the brakes on. You can see by this, you see how the cars are yellow? That means that the brakes have been activated. And look at that. There we go. Beautiful job by the AI right there. The coupler is not smashed against the buffer. There's a good distance. Very nice job. So with that out of the way, we're going to go over here and we're going to start doing something else. Like I said, I'm not going to repair that locomotive right now. We will do that later. I wanted to just go over here. So this is the Sawmill. And as I mentioned earlier, it is a captive industry. So a captive industry you service with your own freight cars, which in this game, you start with 8 skeleton cars. These are cars that we own. Now, if I'm to go and sign a contract, actually, you know what? Let's just sign the contract with the Sawmill. This is the Whittier Sawmill right here. So all we have is a Tier 1 contract. Right here, they want 8 cars of logs per day. And in order to do that, we have to use these cars right here to get those logs and bring them here. Something else that's good to know about this industry is that they will also accept cars from the Interchange. So where we put that coal hopper is in the Interchange. A Class 1 railroad will give you cars, they will take cars away, do all that good stuff. From these 2 platforms here, this industry will sometimes have cars at the Interchange that need to come here. And so that's something very good to know. So tomorrow, we should have cars for this industry appear. We're gonna accept a couple contracts from Whittier and Ella. That will be Stenzel MFG. We're also going to accept a contract from Holyfield Heating Oil. And we're also going to accept a contract from Ella. And all this is going to do is it's just going to help us make some money very early on. Because I don't really want to waste time with that. Now, something else that we can do as well is Milestones. Now, this is where you expand your railroad. We could purchase a track to Silva. Now, the track to Silva, if we look at the map here, we're here in Whittier, as you can see. That is this whole section of track right here. So this right now is owned by a Class 1 railroad, and they service the little interchange that's right here. If we were to purchase the track to Silva, the new interchange would be all the way over here. And this is where the Class 1 railroad would meet our railroad. However, I don't think I'm going to do that. That's $10,000. And as of right now, we only have $5,000 to our name. So we're not going to worry about that right now. What we can do is we can repair the Ella track and bridge. So after Ella, which is just over here, right now our short line railroad goes from Whittier to Ella and then it stops. We also have a branch line right here that goes to Connelly. And this is where the log camp is. So when the sawmill wants logs, we get it from Connelly. And I think there are a couple other places like Walker. I think Walker is another place where you can get logs from and all that good stuff. Obviously, we can't do it right now because the bridge is out. Right here is where the bridge is. And so by doing this repair Ella and track bridge milestone, it will expand our railroad from Ella through Governor's Island all the way down to Bryson. And then we have some more milestones that we need to finish in order to expand our railroad this way. If we do it right now, it'll cost us $1,000. Tomorrow, 13 cars for that bridge site will appear at the interchange. We'll have to take those down there. If we wait until tomorrow to accept this, the cost will actually be $750. So we could wait until tomorrow. Now, one very important thing to know about this is that when you accept a contract for one of these phases, the cars won't appear until the following day. So if we accept this right now, the cars will appear tomorrow. If we accept this tomorrow, the cars will appear the day after tomorrow. And it will always take at least 2 days to get the cars for the next phase. So it's one of those, do we pay the $1,000 now and start this project immediately, or do we wait until tomorrow and start the project the following day, on day number 3? I think that right now I'm just going to wait on this. We only have 5,000 to our name, so our obviously our money is very limited. We'll wait until tomorrow, see what ends up happening. The price should be $750 if my reputation is good. So we don't really have to worry about that right now. What we do need to worry about is the fact that the sawmill is going to want logs. And as of right now, they don't have any logs, so they're very much not satisfied. So we're going to do just that with the cars that we own right here. Now, we have 8 of them, which is enough to satisfy them for today, because it says consumes up to 8 cars of logs per day. Now, that is with the Tier 1 contract. I believe a Tier 2 contract wants 11? Obviously, we just have a Tier 1 contract, so they just want 8, which is perfectly fine. So, we're going to do that. We're going to run up to Connelly, grab a bunch of logs for this place, and then unload them. And I think that loading time should be about an hour, so it's not going to take very long. But what I need to do is I do need to make a way bill, so we're going to do that just like how we did that with the coal hoppers. So loads are going to go to Whittier Sawmill. That's this place just behind us. The empties are going to go to Connelly Creek L2. Now, the reason I'm going to choose Connelly Creek L2 is because this track right here is Connelly Creek L2. And when we get the other locomotive running, we can actually have the AI do this for us. The AI can shove up the mountain and then park the cars right here, and then they'll load. And then once it's done, we don't have to do any further switching operations. We can just have the AI take it back down the mountain. The AI can then park right here. We can do some switching, and the AI will park it right here for us. We'll leave the engine and everything on it. Once it's unloaded, we'll just repeat that process. So that's why we're going to do L2. Now, to copy it to all the other cars, I'm just going to hit copy to couple, and there we go. So that's going to want to go up to Connelly L2. Let's do that. All right, let's go flip the switch just here, and there we go. All right, let's get the brake on here so that we don't break anything. Because unlike that coal hopper, if these cars are damaged, you will make less money out of them. So we do want to be careful with that. There we go. Oh. And in true Mateo fashion, I stop a little bit too early. There we go. Bam. There we go. Awesome. Okay, and that's going to do right there. I think I pulled it a little bit too far ahead. Whoops. Yep, I pulled it way too far ahead. I was trying to get cinematic shots, and I think I failed terribly. All right, yep, look at that. All right, next plan. You know what? Let me pull the train past this switch right here, and then I'm going to use this little track to run around it, and then we'll run it up the mountain to Connelly. All right, and right there should do. There we go. Now, for some reason, I have a habit when I'm disconnecting cars to close this one, but keep that one open. We want to close that one and keep this one open. I don't know why I do that. All right, let's take this train up to Connelly and get these cars loaded. All right, now I did have this question over on Discord. When you get up to about 10 to 15 miles an hour, you want to start moving the reverser back. So if I start moving it back, we will actually increase speed. There you go, look. And now we are increasing speed. There we go. So I think that the speed limit along this route is 30 miles an hour. I might be wrong on that, but we want to be a little bit careful. And we have a road crossing coming up. That speed limit is actually 25 on this, so let's not derail. All right, and now we are beginning our journey up the mountain. I haven't really had any issues taking trains up here. As we start getting longer trains that will go up here and we start doing some more advanced switching maneuvers so that we can bring more cars up, it'll get a little complicated. We might need another locomotive to help out, but for right now, one locomotive will suffice. Alright, so we are passing L1. At least I think this is L1. Actually, if I go to Connelly Creek, we can see L1 right here, and if I hover over the track number, we can see that that's L1 just there. And L1 produces 12 cars of logs per day, so there we go. P1, which is just next to it, produces pulpwood, which is what we don't need, so we would never park cars right there. Alright. So, this right here is L2. This is actually where we need to go. However, we need to run around the train first, because L2 actually has enough space to service all 8 of these cars at once. That's if we shove the train in there. So, if we keep going, there should be a siding just up ahead. We will go into that siding, run around the train, pull it down the mountain, and then shove it into that track. Man, look at how this train is struggling to get up this. There's a serious grade right here. And we're not in the siding just yet. Actually, the siding's right here. Yep. So let's pull to the end of the siding. We'll get the train uncoupled and then just run around it. Okay, now we're starting to speed up, so that's fun. Let's just carefully... Actually, I think... Where's the end? Oh, the end of the siding is just right there. Hold on, let's get the brakes. And as traditional, I'm going to stop way too soon. Actually, no, we're good right here. Yeah, we're good right here. All right. Look, I did it again. I just did it right here. What did I say when we first took this train? I have a tendency to close the angle cock connected to the rest of the train and keep the one connected to the engine open. No, we want to close this one and we want to keep this one open. Mateo, Mateo, Mateo. This is why you can't have nice things. Oh, you gotta love it. Getting a bloody nose while you're recording a video. That's just great. Alright, I'm back. Crisis averted. It wasn't actually that bad in comparison to some of the bloody noses I can have. This usually happens when the weather turns, and as of right now, Midwest temperatures are throwing out numbers like the Powerball, so, yeah. It's fine. We're good. Let's not break anything. We're going 13 miles an hour. That's a little bit quick. There we go. 3 miles an hour is pretty good. Yep, there we go. All right, let's take this down the mountain. Forgot to toot the horn. It's okay. I don't think there's anybody else here to get run over. It's the bears, maybe. By the way, I don't normally talk about this, but did anybody hear the news about how apparently BNSF is being sued because bears... Yeah, I don't know. Somebody posted on the Discord how apparently BNSF is getting sued because of an unusually high amount of bear deaths as a result of bears being on the train tracks in front of trains. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Did anybody else hear about that? All right, let's be careful. We're actually speeding. Look at that. Oops. There you go. It's fine. There you go. I mean, we're below the speed limit anyways. I think the speed limit through here is 25 or 30. So we'll be fine. There we go. Hey, you know what? It's not a bad idea. Let's keep it at 15 because we're doing this little switching maneuver right here. So we're going to have to stop anyways. And, like, I think right now we could put the brake on and we'll be actually... Actually, we won't be fine. We'll stop too early. Look at that. Even going down a mountain, I still stopped too early. All right, and I think... See, this is where AI switching can really become helpful. Because, you know, if we had the AI doing this, I'd be standing next to the switch. and I could kind of see that way, which I know I could probably just use the flying camera, but that's boring. This is the first train sim where I don't really use the flying camera that much. I actually really enjoy playing this game in first person. Alright, and as you can see, as the cars are entering the industry, the tags will start to kind of fade away, which means that if we were to park the train like this, those cars with the faded tags will actually be serviced. Let's just pull it a little bit further ahead, and I think right there will actually do, which we want to stop because the buffer is just right there. Alright, how did I do? I know I said I don't use the flying camera that much, but that actually wasn't too bad. We could probably pull it ahead a little bit more, but it'll do right there. Alright, and now what we do is we just sit here and we wait. It should take about an hour for this train to be loaded, maybe a little bit more. We've almost used 1 ton of coal, which isn't very good. I mean, we have enough to make it back down, but I don't want to risk it. So they are starting to fill this train up. It should take about an hour. And, as it's 11 o'clock right now, I think we're going to run for the hills. Let's just run for the hills and have lunch. You know what? Let's just sit right next to this tree in the shade. And we'll watch them do their work while we have lunch. I will see everybody in about an hour. Oh, all right. I have just been watching them here. And as you can see, they have continued loading the train. It's not fully loaded just yet, so I get to still chill and relax. The weather's a little bit cool right now. Little bit of a breeze. Not very much breeze, but the weather couldn't be better today. Well, I guess I'm going to keep waiting. Maybe I'll take a nap. Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a nap. Let's just lie down and, yeah, I'll take a nap. What? Oh, I really was out there. Well, it's 1 o'clock now, or 1300 hours, if that's your fancy, and, well, it doesn't look like the train's fully loaded yet. I guess the crew decided to go out for lunch, and that's why the train's not fully loaded yet. Man, I got scared. I thought they were loaded and they wanted me out of here. Man, I could have kept sleeping. Man. Hey, steal his furniture. Yeah. Steal the dining room table. That'll really mess him up. Yeah. Let's take all the furniture. No, please don't take my furniture. What? My gosh, the dream. Well, the whole train's almost loaded here. They still have 1 car to go. Man, you know what? I think I'm gonna go somewhere else to sleep. Man, I'm having nightmares about people stealing my furniture. Oh, man. Jeez. Don't ask. Man, sun's beating down. Well, I guess another hour of waiting. Hopefully they'll wake me up if I fall asleep. Steal his landline. His nephew doesn't even like him anyways. No, not the landline. How am I going to contact my nephew?
Sir, you a psycho?
God, I had another dream again. Alright, well, the train is fully loaded. We're going to take it down the mountain. But real quick, I just need to ask people, just because of the fact of what I just said. Calling people in my generation, okay? Please tell me that you all know what a landline is. I only ask this because about a year ago, I took my grandmother on a shopping trip because her phone broke. We asked one of the people at the store if they had any landlines available, and the girl that we asked had no idea what that was. And I was just thinking to myself as she asked us, because my grandmother's like, do you guys have any landlines? And she looks at us and she's like, what's that? And I'm just thinking to myself, do you really not know what a landline is? Anyways, that's the story of me being disappointed in my own generation. So, let's take this train down the mountain. Anyways, let's take this train down the mountain. We do need to be careful because this train is pretty heavy, and we will speed. Because look, I'm going to take the brake off, and look at that. We're starting to move without me giving the train any power. Yeah, look at that. We're moving it. Let's just give it a little bit of power so that we don't go that slow. Oh, maybe put it in reverse. There we go. All right, and I'm just going to idle the train because once we get onto the main here, yeah, look at how fast we're speeding up. We're idled, and we're speeding up pretty quickly. So we could probably just idle all the way down the mountain, which, you know, let's not speed. The speed limit's 25. Let's be very careful. Now, I'm only saying that the speed limit's 25 because that's what I'm remembering, but it could be 15, but I don't think it is. Actually, you know what? If we look at the map here, it should tell us. No, it doesn't tell us. Okay, I think 15 is the speed limit then. Or 25, I mean. I think 25 is the speed limit. Straight track isn't an issue. Where speed limits become a problem is when you're on curves, because that's where you can derail and damage equipment. So let's just very carefully go down here. There we go. Nope, don't put on the throttle. Put on the brake. Wrong brake. There we go. Hey, why did the conductors miss their TV show? They tuned into the wrong station. You're welcome. If you thought that was bad, don't worry, I have worse ones that I could tell. Alrighty, and here we are. So that's all we'll do with this for today. I think they'll be satisfied with this. We could deliver more if we wanted to, but I think eight carloads is what will satisfy them. See, this is where English gets a little bit difficult. Where it says this right now is consumes up to 8 cars per day. So does that mean that they only take 8 cars per day? Does that mean that they only use 8 cars per day? So for example, if we unload 8 cars here, they will use all of the logs there in one day. Like, let's just say we deliver 12. They would process all 12 cars today, but they will only use 8 of them. Which essentially means that tomorrow you will still have 4 carloads in storage. I don't know if any of that made sense, but those are questions. All right, let's flip that and let's get the train in here. So I think that what this means here is that they need at least 8 cars per day to be satisfied. However, you can always bring them more. They will unload them. The excess will just go here in storage that they'll use later. I think that's what that means. Which, does that mean that if we have an excess amount of logs here in storage, we could technically bring less and they'd still be satisfied? Because let's just say we brought 8 cars. Every car holds 3. That means that they would have a total of 24 logs here in storage. But if we were to bring, let's just say instead of bringing 8 cars, we brought 10, that means that they would have an extra 6 logs sitting here. Ooh, I'm going to crash. Put on the brakes. Hink! Nope, we're fine. So, because we have those 2 extra cars here, that means that there are 6 logs now in the storage. Could we take So let's just say that we brought 8 cars. If we brought 8 cars here, which is what we did, that means that there are a total of 24 logs that are going to go into storage. If we brought an extra 2 cars, that means that instead of 24 logs, they would have 30 logs, which that means that they would have 6 logs left over that they're not going to use today. So does that mean that since they have those 6 extra logs that they're not going to use today, could we bring, instead of bringing 8 cars, could we instead just bring 6 cars, and would they still be satisfied? Or would they want us to bring another set of 8? Just because it says this. I don't really know. One would have thought that I would have already tested this, considering that I service this industry like once a day on my other save, but I never really bothered with it. Honestly, I have absolutely no idea if anything I just said made sense. If it didn't make sense, I apologize. Ooh, watch out. Woo. That's dangerous. Hey, what happens when your vacation is ruined by a train wreck? All your plans go down the train. I'm so sorry. Alright, well, with that said, we are going to rescue our broken locomotive here and put it into the shop, and then I think that's going to be it for today. Well, actually, no, we might have to run our passenger train, but you know what? I'm going to do that off screen. Essentially, all we're going to do is we're just going to run it from Whittier to Ella and then back. I don't know if... I don't know if... Like, I don't know how much damage to our reputation not running that train today will bring us. Normally, I run that train with a freight train. But since we don't have anything here, there's really nothing to run this train with. So we'll just be running it with the passenger car and the caboose. I just don't know what kind of damage not running this train will do today. I guess we'll figure out that when we cross that bridge. Alright, I'm going to get this train on AI. We are going to reverse. We're going to have the AI reverse it 20 miles an hour. AI is going to come down this track just here. And let's just make sure this switch right here is flipped. That switch is good. And we are going to re-rail this train. So to re-rail the train, I think it's Shift R, right? Yep, Shift R. If we hover our mouse over the train, it's just Shift R. There we go. Mateo re-railed 1 car. Shift R. There we go. The tender has been re-railed. Or, as I said on stream, re-wailed. Alright, just bring her back another 10. Yeah, just bring her back 10. Alright, that'll do, man. Whoa, AI, stop the train. What are you doing, man? Oh, okay, good. He didn't damage the tender. That was a little bit hard, because he really mashed this coupler, but that's okay. Train's at 70%. That's MWN number 1, and the tender is also at 70%. Let's just pull this locomotive out of here, and we'll get into the service shop. Alright, let's just stop this right here. I need to flip a couple switches. And we're going to put it onto the right track this time instead of the left one. And look at that, we are starting to run out of coal. The max in this locomotive is 6, and we only have 2.6 tons, which isn't terrible. But when you start running bigger trains and stuff like that, you really will use a lot of coal. Alright, let's bring her back. By the way, I really hope you guys aren't seeing these stutters that I'm seeing. For some reason, my game is starting to stutter a little bit when I move my camera, so that's a little bit funky. It's alright, though. This game runs pretty good. Alright, let's get into the shop here, and I think right there I'll actually be just fine. Wrong button. Oh, man, we hit the buffer. We hit the buffer. Yeah, we hit the buffer. Let's see what kind of damage this did. Can I fit? I don't know if I can fit. Oh, that actually did no damage to the tender. Yeah, I thought that was going to do some damage to it. Apparently, yeah, that didn't do any damage to anything. That's actually really, really good. And see, the problem is, in this game, I get the throttle mixed up with the independent brake. So this right here is the throttle, and then the one on the bottom left is the independent brake. And I always get those two confused, which is why something like that, like what just happened. So, if I could just get it into my head that this right here is the independent brake, life would be so much better. But no, I just can't figure it out. Maybe I'm crazy. All right, let's pull this forward. All right, let's just pull this forward here, and we will stop just right here. So now that we did this, the locomotive will be serviced. But the first thing that we need to do is we actually need to hire a crew inside of the engine service place. So as of right now, we have nobody. If we hire one person, it'll take a day and 4 hours to fully service this locomotive. Now, it costs $15 a day for them to work. They will still need to be paid even if they don't fix anything. If we hire 2 people, I think it'll take it down a little bit. Now, the question is, do I hire somebody else and we try to fix this locomotive as fast as possible? Or do I just hire one person right now and we fix this locomotive in increments, if you know what I'm saying? So by tomorrow, the locomotive might be 90% repaired. We will go out, use this locomotive to do our thing, and then at the end of the day, we'll bring the locomotive back. They will continue servicing it, and then maybe by the 3rd day, the locomotive will be ready to go. For right now, I think I'm just going to leave it to one person. They should arrive tomorrow and have this locomotive fixed up for us. Alrighty, well, with that said, that's going to do it for this episode of Railroader. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like. And I am planning to do multiplayer with this. So if you'd be interested on joining us, join my Discord. Unfortunately, it's not going to be 24 hours like our Run 8 server is. But I do hope to host this server quite regularly. So if you'd be interested on joining us, join my Discord. The information for the server will be there when I open up the server. We just did a test run on Twitch, and everything seems to be working pretty well so far. The information for it will be up on Discord. So, with that said, thank you for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. See you later. Peace.